Blake Lively files a motion to dismiss Justin Baldoni's lawsuit. Dismiss. And he says that she is abusing the legal system.
And allegations in Baldoni's complaint that would overcome that, and therefore this should be dismissed.
Blake Lively is begging the judge to dismiss Justin Baldoni's case. She has reached her breaking point. The pressure is unbearable, and she just can't take it anymore. Yes, you heard that right. Blake Lively, the one who filed a lawsuit against Justin, is now trying to have it dismissed. The irony here is absolutely mind-blowing. She wants to undo everything, erase the mess she started, as though it's just some bad movie plot she's trying to escape.
Blake Lively files a motion to dismiss Justin Baldoni's lawsuit. Shocker. Definitely seems like this was Blake and Ryan Reynolds' game plan. Blake now also wants out of the Justin Baldoni lawsuit.
The problem is, this isn't a movie, and Blake doesn't get to dictate how the script unfolds. Let's take a step back, though. What exactly is Blake trying to pull? She filed a lawsuit, and when Justin Baldoni, the man at the center of it, decided to fight back by filing a $400 million defamation suit, Blake was caught completely off guard. You'd think a woman with her star power and connections would have a better grasp on how these things play out. But no, she was caught by surprise. And now, she's scrambling.
But they never expected him to come full force.
Like, Blake is now acting like an entitled brat, telling the judge to dismiss the case because Baldoni is just trying to get revenge. Oh, really, Blake? What did you think would happen? This is a bold claim, but let's think about it for a second. Who, in their right mind, would sit idly by while their reputation gets dragged through the mud? No one. So, is Justin supposed to just accept being vilified without a fight? Did Blake really think Justin wouldn't push back? Especially when she has a long history of being the A-lister with all the connections? She's one of the biggest names in Hollywood, surrounded by a team of powerful people who can spin any narrative in her favor. But Justin? He doesn't have the same clout, so why would he just roll over?
Revenge. Oh, it's against the law for him to defend himself with actual evidence and proof against you?
The real shocker here is that Blake was so blindsided by Justin's $400 million lawsuit. She thought she could get away with filing a defamation claim and sweeping it under the rug, thinking Justin wouldn't be able to stand his ground. That was a huge miscalculation on her part. And now, things are escalating in a way that Blake probably didn't anticipate. She's pulling out all the stops. Her newest legal move? Oh, it's a plot twist no one saw coming. Blake's team is now pulling out California law, the one meant to protect people accusing someone of harassment, assault, or discrimination.
California law. Section 47.1 generally protects individuals from lawsuits when they disclose information about SH, SA, or discrimination. This is intended to prevent retaliatory litigation.
But hold on a second, let's break this down because something here smells a little fishy. Blake initially filed her complaint in New York, but now she's suddenly trying to make the case about California law. She argues that because her employers are based in California, she should be protected under California law. It's almost as though Blake is scrambling to find any legal loophole she can use to her advantage. And I get it, this is Hollywood, and things are rarely as straightforward as they seem. But to flip the script in this way, that raises some eyebrows.
But what's interesting is that she is using the California law, but she did file in New York.
Now, let's talk about this powerful tool that Blake is using. Section 47.1 of California law. This section of the law was specifically designed to protect individuals who make accusations about sexual harassment or assault. The key point here is that it offers privilege to those making the complaint, if the complaint is made without malice. In essence, this law is meant to create a legal shield for those who are accusing someone of serious misconduct, ensuring that they aren't sued for defamation as a result of coming forward. It acknowledges the importance of giving a platform to those who speak up about harassment or assault, allowing them to report their experiences without the fear of being retaliated against through legal means.
The idea behind 47.1 is we're going to cut that off at the knees. We're not going to allow people to sue people who come forward with SH because we want to promote people coming forward with SH. We don't want people attacked when they bring forward SH claims.
So what does this mean for Blake? Well, according to her legal team, they're arguing that Section 47.1 should offer her protection from Justin's defamation suit. They claim that since Blake's accusations were made in the context of addressing serious misconduct, her statements should be covered under this privilege, and therefore, the defamation suit should be dismissed. Their primary argument here is that Justin's lawsuit fails to demonstrate that Blake's accusations were made with malice, which is a key element for any defamation case. If she didn't act with malice, then the legal protection provided by Section 47.1 would apply, and Justin's case would be without merit.
There has not been allegations in Baldoni's complaint that would overcome that, and therefore this should be dismissed.
So, does this mean Blake is right, and the court will dismiss Justin's case? Well, not so fast. You see, Blake's team is focusing on parts of the law that might protect her, but there's a key detail they're conveniently ignoring. Something that could change everything. It's called the false allegation exception, and it's a game changer. If Justin can prove Blake's accusations were made with malice, meaning she knew they were false or made them recklessly to hurt him, then everything Blake's team has built comes crashing down. No defense, no protection, no dismissal. But here's the twist. Does Justin have the proof? And if he does, could it be enough to take Blake's entire case down in flames?
And like Friedman has said, I think Justin has already proven that she overstated her allegation and falsely accused him.
Stick around, because this could go in a direction no one expects. In simpler terms, if Blake's accusations were false, and she knowingly made them in order to damage Justin's reputation or to retaliate against him, then Section 47.1 doesn't apply. Oh, here's the thing. If Blake really had some personal vendetta against Justin, or was acting out of pure malice, hoping to destroy his career or reputation, then all that legal protection she's been relying on could easily vanish. And honestly, that seems super likely, especially when you look at all the evidence Justin's been pulling together. It's like the more you dig, the more it looks like she's not as innocent as she wants everyone to think.
Honestly, was making an SH complaint, or did she herself have either she knew that her complaints were not true, or she had serious doubts as to the truthfulness of those statements?
This is a critical point, and it's what could destroy Blake's defense. The law was never meant to protect individuals who use accusations as a weapon of malice or retaliation. The law was meant to protect those coming forward with legitimate, truthful claims of harm. But making false claims and trying to misuse it like that? It's downright disrespectful to all those who've actually faced harassment in reality. Blake might have hoped Section 47.1 would shield her, but claiming victimhood is one thing. Proving it without an agenda is another. If the court finds her accusations were meant to harm Justin, Section 47.1 won't protect her.
Pre-trial, the problem is in a California law, as I see it and as I read it, you're limited to two issues, and that is, was she reasonable in what she did in making these claims? And secondly, did she have malice when she did this? And if she wasn't reasonable, well, you can hold her accountable for that. And if she did have malice, you can hold her accountable for that.
But Blake is making a huge mistake with this move. If she's caught acting with malice, everything she's trying to do, like getting this case tossed out, could come crashing down faster than she can blink. What her team isn't seeing is the false allegation exception, which is exactly there to stop people from using the legal system to ruin others with lies. If Justin's team can prove she had an agenda, Blake's whole defense crumbles. And let's not forget, if it's proven she acted with ulterior motives, she could face even more serious consequences. This could turn on her in a way she never saw coming.
I mean, there's just so much that Baldoni can point to that I think kind of goes towards hatred or ill will.
So here's where things really get interesting. After Blake was allegedly rejected, not just professionally but personally, she didn't just stop at making an accusation. Oh no, she took it much further. It wasn't enough to simply speak out about what she claims happened. Instead, she turned everything personal. It wasn't about getting justice anymore. It was about humiliating him.
I believe that she liked him. She kind of fell for him. Those scenes were super steamy. Like, they had great chemistry. You could see that in the movie. And she was very kind of flirtatious in that video when they were kind of dancing side by side.
Blake didn't just call Justin out on a professional level. She made him watch the premiere of It Ends With Us from the basement. Yeah, you heard that right. While the rest of the cast and crew were celebrating, enjoying what should have been a huge moment for all of them, Justin was stuck down in some basement, disconnected from everything. He had to watch the whole thing unfold from the sidelines, as if he wasn't even part of the production. Talk about a deliberate move. This wasn't some innocent mistake. It was calculated.
And we talk about for a second how this was Justin Baldoni at the movie premiere of his own movie in the basement with his friends and family because he could not be around Blake Lively.
Why go so far? Why make him suffer like that? It wasn't just about calling out bad behavior anymore. It became clear that Blake was after more than that. She was making a statement. This wasn't just about feeling wronged in a professional setting. This was about making Justin feel the full weight of her anger and frustration. She wanted to make him feel small, isolated, and cut off from everything that was meant to be a celebration of their hard work.
You took him away from the posters. You did all of that. And then you do all that. You then take the edit. You get more and more control of the writing. You use your dragons to beat him down and make sure he gets it.
The more people look at this, the more it seems like Blake wasn't just angry about the accusations she's made. She was angry at Justin personally. She wanted revenge. People have been wondering if all of this has more to do with emotions than any actual workplace misconduct. Sure, the accusations are serious, but Blake's response? That's something else entirely. The way she went after him, publicly, with such intensity, makes it seem like this was about much more than a workplace grievance. She wanted to punish him. She wanted to put him in his place.
And so that's what happens to you, right? You run into somebody who seems like a witch who will take advantage of you and hurt you until finally even that kind of a guy rises up. Now, he didn't do it himself exactly. He hired a badass named Brian Friedman, and he has badass women like me defending him.
Now, the whispers are getting louder. Many are starting to speculate that Blake might have caught feelings for Justin, and guess what? He didn't return those feelings. This isn't just a case of, I was wronged at work anymore. It's starting to look like Blake's out here taking revenge on him for not returning her affections.
I'm still not fully convinced that Blake developed feelings for Justin. I think she got...
Can you imagine the level of betrayal she might have felt if she had built up feelings for him and he didn't feel the same way? Maybe that's the real root of all this. Maybe, just maybe, Blake's actions are less about a legitimate grievance and more about personal hurt, the kind that doesn't go away easily. And now people are talking. The situation is spiraling into something far messier and more personal than anyone initially thought. This whole case is getting messy. What started as an accusation against Justin has evolved into something way more complicated, and now it seems like the real motive might be buried in a tangled mix of rejection, anger, and hurt feelings.
Milano or Ashley Judd Me Too victim is instead looking a lot more like Amber Heard.
This shift from a professional grievance to a personal vendetta complicates Blake's position. It's one thing to accuse someone of misconduct and let the legal system handle the fallout. It's another thing entirely to take matters into your own hands, using humiliation and public shaming as tools for punishment. It raises serious questions about Blake's intentions and whether she was motivated by a desire for justice, or something more personal. When it comes to legal proceedings, the line between seeking justice and seeking revenge can become incredibly thin, and Blake's actions make it hard to ignore the possibility that her motivations were far from innocent. Let's talk about Ryan Reynolds. You know, the ever-charming, always supportive husband. The guy who's been front and center, always ready to stand up for his wife, Blake. The man who makes us all believe in true love and loyalty.
The most interesting thing about me is her.
Well, folks, something's gone wrong in paradise. Now, Ryan's still playing the role of the doting husband, at least on the surface. But when it comes to the latest lawsuit that has Blake's name all over it, Ryan is, let's just say, distancing himself. Yes, you heard me right. The man who was once so protective of his wife now wants to take a back seat. He's trying to wiggle his way out of this legal mess, leaving Blake to face it all alone.
Interesting thing is Ryan Reynolds is trying to distance him. He's trying to get dismissed from this lawsuit, but I mean, he's basically like, Judge, let me out. Leave my wife in it, but let me out.
What happened to the guy who would fight tooth and nail for Blake? Isn't that the guy we all thought we knew? But now? Oh no. He's got one foot out the door, and he's looking for any escape route that'll protect his career and his reputation. This is not the knight in shining armor we all expected. I mean, where's the love, Ryan? Where's the support you've been bragging about? Okay, so now let's get into the juicy part. Blake's lawsuit and why it's blowing up in everyone's face. It's not just some casual legal drama. It's big. Ryan's team is doing everything they can to get Justin Baldoni's defamation lawsuit thrown out. Why? Oh, Ryan claims that calling Baldoni a predator was just his opinion.
And then he references a number of quotes from Justin Baldoni's book and podcast and TED Talk. And basically they pull a lot of old Baldoni statements that they take out of context, or basically trying to say, well, he's a predator.
No big deal, right? Just a random thought thrown out there. But when he was pressed on it, things got really interesting. His excuse? Wait for it. He said he called Baldoni a predator because he listened to Baldoni's podcast, watched his TED Talk, and even read parts of his book. And from that, Ryan just knew Baldoni was a predator. Really, Ryan? Is that all it takes now? Just a few podcasts and a book to make such an accusation? And here's where things get even more shocking. Ryan's claiming that it's none of his business if Baldoni was removed from WME. He says he doesn't run anything there, and that he's got no say in what goes on. Okay, fine, maybe he's got a point.
And that Justin Baldoni being let go by WME had nothing to do with him.
But then he forgets something. Ari Emanuel, the big boss over at WME, literally went on the Freakonomics podcast and said he fired Baldoni to support Ryan and Blake. He called himself their ride or die and made it clear that he'd do anything for them. So wait, Ryan wants us to believe he had no involvement in Baldoni's firing? Ari's practically confirming Ryan's role, and yet Ryan's acting like he's not involved at all? Interesting.
However, Ari Emanuel at WME has already gone on the record with this now lost live taping of the Freakonomics podcast, where Ari Emanuel basically said that Justin Baldoni was fired from WME and that he did this in support of Blake and Ryan Reynolds. Ari Emanuel said he is ride or die.
The case? Oh, it's not going away anytime soon. Ryan's trying to find a way out, but the case is still active. He hasn't managed to slip away from the drama just yet. You can bet this isn't going to fade into the background. It's clear Ryan's going to be stuck in this mess for a while, and Blake's not letting him off the hook so easily. Brian Friedman, Justin's lawyer, has made it crystal clear that he isn't backing down in this fight. He's not about to let Blake and her team manipulate the legal system to their advantage. Friedman has openly criticized Blake's legal tactics, claiming that they're attempting to exploit the law for personal gain, and he's not having it.
And he says that she is abusing the legal system.
He's confident that once the discovery phase of the case is complete, the holes in Blake's defense will become undeniable, and her case will crumble. Friedman is determined to hold Blake accountable for what he believes are false accusations, and he's not afraid to go after her.
Measures, we will continue to hold Miss Lively accountable for her actions of pure malice, which include falsely accusing my clients of harassment and retaliation.
He's certain that Blake's request to dismiss the case will be rejected, and he's prepared to fight until the end to ensure that she doesn't get away with what he views as a baseless claim. Friedman's confidence in Justin's position is unwavering, and he's ready to make sure that Blake faces the consequences of her actions.
And he summed it up by saying Blake's fantastical claims will be swiftly debunked as discovery moves forward, easily disproved with actual evidentiary proof.
Right now, Blake's team is still holding on to the hope that they can manipulate the law in their favor, but that hope is fading fast. The evidence Justin has is irrefutable, and as more comes to light, Blake's story is starting to unravel. The trial is scheduled for March 2026, and it seems Blake might be headed for a major loss. Not only could she lose the case, but the damage to her reputation and career could be catastrophic. And don't forget the hefty $400 million at stake here. It's slipping through her fingers, Her attempts to have the case dismissed are only digging her deeper into a hole. And trust me, this saga is far from over. Stay tuned, because as things unfold, we'll be right here breaking it all down for you. Keep your eyes on this one, because it's going to be one heck of a show.